Dan Fogelberg put together some great songs. This one is, of course, longer, from his 1979 album Phoenix. And Dan just had a way with words, chords, melodies. This is a fun song to play on the guitar. It is not very difficult, as you could probably see. As long as you have a little bit of finger-picking experience and are used to being able to keep steady arpeggios going. So you could see what I was doing there with my right hand. Left hand is some very easy chord shapes. Really just 4 main chords that take up that get used in the verse. Of course, the secret is it's in an open G tuning, meaning all 6 strings are tuned to one of the notes of a G chord. Now, in the standard tuning, we've got 3 notes of a G chord normally: the B string, the G string, and the D string. So those don't have to be changed. The other 3 strings have to all get lowered to the nearest note in the G chord. So, first string E has to be taken down to D. You would do that by playing the D on the 3rd fret of the B string, and there you have it. Now the other 2 strings, the A string and the G and the E string, have to both go down. The A has to go down to G, and the best way to do that is play the open G string and compare this to it. Maybe compare the harmonic at the 12th fret and make sure they match. The D string, same thing. Play the open 4th string, get the harmonic at the 12th fret of the 6th string to match that. So that's one of the ways of getting into this open G tuning. Of course, you can always use your handy dandy tuner if you happen to have one of these cool lock-on tuners from borrowed that from Fred Flintstone a few years ago. Anyway, so open G tuning, and we have very easy chord shapes. We do have a few little intricate things that have to happen in there as far as the picking goes. So we'll take a look at that. I've got tablature to it. They're really just 2 parts to the song: a verse and a chorus, although the chorus really only happens once. So we could also think of it as an AABA type song, where A is a verse and B would be the chorus. The second time the chorus happens, though, it's done instrumentally with a trumpet solo. We're not going to play any trumpet solos on the guitar today. So anyway, coming up, a lesson on longer. We'll take a look at the chords, take a look at the picking, and then we'll break out the tablature. We'll talk about the chord progression, and probably have a little theory discussion about the names of these chords. What happens when you play simple chord shapes in an unusual tuning? What do you get? Well, you get this droning effect of a couple common notes to every chord, even though some of them change. So we get, a lot of times we think of these as sort of hybrid chords, partially part of one chord, part of another chord. We have 2 notes out of a G chord ringing over every chord. Okay, theory discussions somewhere down the line. I'm not sure yet what order this is all going to happen in, but coming up, longer. The right hand in this song is, first of all, the song goes very slowly, so we don't have to worry about any kind of pyrotechnic stuff going on with your right hand, or your left hand for that matter. But the right hand is just standard arpeggio picking, using your thumb and 3 fingers, your index finger on the 3rd string, middle finger on the 2nd string, get it there, and your ring finger on the 1st string, and your thumb's going to usually cover the 5th string and the 4th. We never play the 6th string in this song, and that's in an open G tuning. We have a G string here, and that's the lowest note we're going to play. I might talk about using the D at one spot just to fill out a little bit of the chord, since we're doing this on a solo guitar, but it doesn't really happen in Dan's playing of it. Anyway, so 6th string, might as well take it off your guitar if you want, but we're going to play the 5th and the 4th usually with your thumb, and we're going to see a lot of patterns like this. A pinch, sometimes two notes, sometimes maybe just 1, but then a 2nd thumb. Very common pattern would be a pinch, 2nd thumb, index, middle. Well, I mentioned before that in open tunings, a lot of times you play not too many complicated chord shapes. And really, in a standard open G tuning, a common thing to do would be to add these 2 notes, the C and the E here, giving us a partial C chord, and keeping the G in the bass, the 5th string. Well, if we move the bass, the 5th string, along with this, like if I was in standard tuning, this would be how I play an A minor 7 chord. But right now I don't have an A in the bass. So I'd get the A in the bass by playing it at the 2nd fret. So now my A minor 7 looks like this. I have to get, and this shape, I'm playing just the 4 middle strings right now, not including the 1st string yet. That'll be saved. We'll have a different discussion going on about that in a little bit later. So this would be how I play A minor 7 in an open G tuning. Slide it up a whole step, and I've got B minor. It's not going to be B minor 7 because of a different note that's been added, the G. And if I take it up another half step, it would be C minor, but I don't want it to be minor on the C's, I want it to be major. So the C chord is going to look like this. C major would be 3 notes of the 5th fret. 2nd finger, 3rd finger, and 4th finger. So your 2nd finger stays on the 5th string for all of those chords. Well, that was some of the lesson I put together on Dan Fogelberg's tune, Longer, that has a lot of different stuff in it. We cover a lot of different aspects. It's, of course, in an open G tuning, and you just heard how to get into that. You need a D here, and a D here, and a G here, and the other strings stay the same. And the chords are fairly easy to play, standard chord shapes in this tuning. So the lesson went into what to do with your right hand, what to do with your left hand, and some variations on just not even worrying about playing it exactly the way Dan did, although the tablature that I have does have that. So we talk about all of that in there, and we even have a theory section as to what we would really call these scary sounding chords that are very easy to play, but with the addition of these droning notes with a G and a D added to everything. So if you'd like to check out this very detailed lesson, it's available as part of the Target program at TotallyGuitars, which is our monthly subscription program. You can also pick it up individually if you just like to the a la carte version of purchasing lessons one at a time. We also have, if you haven't seen any of our other lessons yet, we have a lot of free lessons there to get you started on some important techniques and some songs that are pretty fun to learn. So, but as of now in the Target program, there are hundreds and hundreds, 500 songs that cover lots of different things, lots of theory stuff and things too. So I hope you take the time to look at what we have at Totally Guitars, and especially if you want to learn Longer or the couple of other Dan Fogelberg songs that we have up there now at Totally Guitars.